the scenes, I've been kind of losing. It can be very challenging. Yeah, we're on camera. Record everything. You might say something smart at any time. But I can decide at a moment's notice, okay, today it's time to do a video. I turn it, I don't know what happens, I click on, this one is gonna go, and I do it. I know what to say, I know there's little kids out there, so I don't say anything too bad. I cleaned it up there pretty much at the beginning. Krista helped me a lot. Once she left, I didn't have anyone to, she'd say, no, that's not a good one to put up, see? She used to say that. Now I put those ones up.
We love them all.
We do.
We love them all, man.
Put them all.
Worry.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I think that what it is, though, is that recently I've decided to screw the drama. There's a lot of weirdos out there. I don't get it, but then there must be something. The more emanate the love, then it's got to come back from other places. The darkness, light. Nobody wants to see their darkness. Your light. That's why they say, just eat the lamb steak, honey. Just eat the beef. Just eat these French fries and Doritos. You're making me feel bad about myself, you know? So when your light shines, and I still haven't seen the revelation, but what I decided was that it'd be a good idea. Wow. The birds, they like me. They want to fly through my aura. Hey, what's up, babe? So I was just like, I'm just going to be a professional from now on. And then what I'll do is, hopefully you guys are signed up for the list, and then I'll make little cool, crazy, old school Dan McDonald style clown wig stuff for the list. But I think it'd be a good idea for me to, you know, crazy, kooky, I love God kind of videos, but maybe tighten it up a little bit around the edges, because I think that it'd be good to get this message out there a little bit more. Like, I've had some fun the last couple of years, you know, and see what it is now. I realize that I used to be weird. Can you hear me?
I'm wondering that.
Can everybody hear me?
Am I close enough?
A little bit more? Okay, this will be real short then. I'll roll out my throat chakra.
Can I be closer?
You're fine. Okay. Make sure you pan out on these beautiful people every once in a while.
All right.
So that they know I'm not talking to Abe Lincoln. Want to get him too in the shot.
Okay.
What was I talking about? I forgot.
Everybody wave.
Professional. You said you used to be weird before. Yeah. Now you're weirder. No. Now I'm eccentric because I'm successful. And what makes me successful? Everywhere I go, no matter where it is, Walmart, Kmart. I could probably go to McDonald's and somebody say, you know, I put more lettuce on my cheeseburger because of you, Dan. So wherever you go, you know, people are like, hey, dude, you changed my life. So that means to me, like, people are digging it. It's the truth. Try it out. I dare you. Eat fruits and vegetables for 6 months. See what happens. There's nobody I've ever heard, I did this and my life got worse. Not one single person. Ever. Now I've gone through some detox symptoms. I feel weak sometimes as the old stuff starts dumping out of me. Yeah, I'm recontextualizing everything in my life. My social life is changing. I'm sobering up, but I don't know how to deal with life. And I'm having the EBGBs and I'm freaking out. But my life, no one's told me my life's gotten worse from raw foods. Not one person.
So will you start? Can you take questions?
I'll take a question anytime. This is all of us.
I have a question.
This isn't my monologue.
I have a question. So I started watching your videos about 2 months ago, and I've started drinking green juice and eating more salads, but I definitely have not converted to all raw. And what's difficult for me is the social aspect, because like if somebody invites you over for dinner, or here we live in New York City and people are always going out to all these great restaurants, I don't know how to really incorporate it and still be like social and not still be able to participate in social activities with my friends who eat all the other stuff.
Do you order,
do you have any advice?
salads? That's my backdrop. Can I have the salad? And you can tell anyone, you got to get bold. Here's some good advice for everybody. Just get your waiter person, and they're used to this. Hey, would you make me a salad? I want lettuce, tomato, cucumber, avocado, sprouts. What other vegetables do you have? Cauliflower? You know what I'm saying? Would you put all that on a plate and double it in size because, they give you these little things with your meat and potatoes, right? Well, that's not a salad. A salad is like this, you know what I mean? Big, over bulging over the top, and it takes you an hour or two to eat it. Nice and slowly in a high state of peace and quiet. You know what I mean? The social aspects of the raw food. It's tough for me now. I'm the life regenerator, so everywhere I go, guess what? They pretty much realize I'm going to be eating raw food. That being said, even the raw food restaurants are pretty tough because one of the reasons why I've been struggling so much, I always go off onto my own tangent because I'm a narcissist, but I'll come back to your question though. The reason why I've been struggling so much is because I'm always fighting for the next level. I mean, do you want to kind of be illuminated? Do you want to feel pretty good, sort of, some of the time? Do you want to be kind of your best? Do you want to be, I'm a little bit better than mediocre? Or do you want to radiate with your life? Do you want your inner essence, your God self, to shine forth? Or do you want to just be sort of okay, I guess I feel a little bit better than I did the other day, so that's good enough and I'm going to plateau? Next level, next level, next level. Why? Because your potentials are rising. It's evolution. That's what the light in you wants to do. It wants to come forth. That's what raw foods is you quit putting out your light. You've got a fire burning inside of you. And if you put on, these huge cheeseburger logs, you just put the fire out and the coals simmer at the bottom. And every once in a while the fire burns and you feel good, right? What if we could find a way to keep that fire burning all the time? And what do we do that for? For ourselves? No, you do it for the other person. You do it for life. You guys are life. You guys are the flowers in my field of the work of my existence. You guys are everything to me. And why do I live? Why do I want to do better? Not only to feel more peace and more light and see more potential arise, but to elevate the others. You want to walk into a room and you want to bring the energy down, which happens a lot with people because they're bad vibes, because nobody's happy. She said, nobody smiles here. And we were walking around with smiles all day. But see, you guys know, though, that you put it in and you don't put the fire out. The fire of the appreciation of the simple things. Your life. So, I'm always struggling and I'm always really hard on myself in a really good way, because if I don't motivate me, who's gonna? I like to feel bad when I don't do my best. But don't you want to feel good all the time? No, I want to feel bad during those times when I'm not living up to my ideal. I have an ideal, okay? Your mommy and daddy said shoot for the stars and you'll land on the moon. I'm shooting for the next galaxy over. And when I get there, I'm going to shoot for the next one beyond that. I mean, it's just, I don't see an end to infinite potential. You all know that I believe in the one living God. And that is the eternal and infinite, power. It's unlimited. It's total potential. So what does that mean? You should just get to a certain point. Okay, I'm a certain number on the scale. Now I'm done. Do you want to have laser beams coming out your head? So when you look at somebody, you can make them feel better about themselves. Like you reflect back, like, hey, I'm human too. I know it can be tough sometimes. You know what I mean? But I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to go see that other galaxy over there that's unexplored. We're going to go where no man has gone before when it comes to the detox and regeneration. Because regeneration doesn't stop. You get to that next level, then you're like, okay, what's next? You learn your next thing. You want to learn to become a better speaker, or better at music, or more beautiful, better skin, stronger hair, whatever it is. You can create that with the life that's inside of you. But it's your thing, and it's your thing. And for me, it's a unique thing. It has to do with physical beauty, and it has to do with strength of the body. But at the end of it all, I have to learn how to tap into my deepest self. I am my own worst enemy. I get in my way every single day. I am the one who stops me from my ideal becoming an actuality. And I'm always seem to be reaching that ideal. And on one hand, I'm not happy about that. On another hand, I see the beauty of it. I'm being sucked into my destiny. You know what I'm saying? We're being pulled into something more beautiful than it was before. You know? So it's that light just coming through. It's like enlightenment. It's like spiritual illumination. All of my greatest mentors are all men of God that just did crazy stuff with the body, or regeneration on every level, not just the body, and the heart full of love, unconditional love. I love you just because you are, and I can give you so much space to do whatever you want to do, to be whatever you want, to make any mistakes that you want to make. I'm not going to stop you. What's up?
I have a question.
Monologue.
How do you gauge when to tell people what's up and when to just shut up?
As far as
like raw foods or like cleansing, detox, nutrition, life regeneration.
The best thing to do is wait till they come to you. I shoved it on my family. It didn't ever work. Later on, now they all come to me. What juice should I make for this? My knees are hurting. I'm overweight. Dan, I'm ready now. Or hey, my brother just got a hold of me. Dan, I just got a juicer. What's up, bro? I'm like, right on. You don't push. You be the light. They will see the change after a year or two on raw foods, a couple of green juice fasts, some fruit diets, clean out. Go somewhere and suffer. Go somewhere and pay your debt. Go somewhere and pay for your sins in the past, the drinking and the drugs and too much heavy foods. Go somewhere and rest. And go through as those old memories, cellular memories, are being brought back into the blood. You will suffer. You will be uncomfortable. I did a 7-day water fast a while ago. I did a 3-day water fast a few days ago. 5, 6, 7 days in, you can't sleep. You're just it's the EBGBs, and that's just the beginning. But you pay those debts. Now I do it real slow and steady, but I desire to go deep, and I develop more courage to be uncomfortable as this process is taking place. This is why very few people ever get healthy, and they basically die their whole life. Clog up, plug up, stay that way, stimulate, drugs, pills, alcohol, stimulating meat, whatever they need to do to kind of get up and make it through another day. But that's not thriving. That's just surviving. And I have to do that too sometimes, so I know that it really sucks. Very few people get a chance to truly thrive on dynamic energy. It takes a lot of work. It's not easy. Read the Gospel of Peace. You will have to work at this. But the rewards are worth it. And once your awareness becomes expanded, and you can no longer deny what you're feeling. Don't go down this road unless you're going to be able to handle the truth. Because as you become more aware, self-aware of your own energy, you're going to be like, oh man, you can feel that maybe the love isn't completely perfected yet. Or maybe there's things in your mind that need to be looked at and released. It's always going to be another level. It doesn't matter how high you get. Maybe if you become an avatar, you're done. If you're Jesus, you're probably done. You did it. You're totally 100% pure Christ consciousness. You know what I mean? But for us mere mortals, most of us here are not going to get enlightened in this lifetime. It might take a few more. But that's what the underlying message here. We're seeking truth through the diet. We're seeking more truth. We're seeking more light. And so eventually, all of you will end up in the place of enlightenment to become total and complete, because life is searching for itself through you. It wants to feel the completeness. And I don't know about you, but my mind, it resists. It's I don't want to feel this way right now. I've got a meet and greet. You know what I mean? Get it together. So I resist. Well, what does that do? It just makes it stronger. So I've been doing a practice lately of just feeling discomfort and not resisting it or trying to change it. because I want to be a good example, right? But then I think, well, the best example I could be is to be a real human being with real problems and really trying to surrender into the difficulties. Because then, once you stop resisting the pain, like, I don't want to feel this way. Well, guess what? All it does is get stronger and stronger and more powerful. I can't feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. I can't stand this. I've got to find a way to change. Give me some alcohol. Give me some drugs. Give me something. But if we want to be real and find a better way, we'll learn to go into those challenges, you know, and we'll accept them. Because I'll tell you one thing's for sure. When I do that, it helps me to have compassion for all of you. Because every last one of you, I don't see anybody here that's probably impervious to pain. You lose a loved one, you're gonna feel it. You stub your toe, you're gonna feel it. You eat too much whatever, your stomach's all full, you're all bogged down, you need to take a nap, you're gonna feel it. You lose your job, you're gonna feel it. You're afraid about the future, you're gonna feel it. We're all gonna have that crap. And one of the things that I've tried to do through my videos and through who I am right now as a person is just for my own peace, so that I can be at peace. Because you know how our celebrities are these days, we think they're perfect. And then you know they're doing all kinds of weird stuff behind the scenes, you know what I mean? To survive. But for me, it's real important to be real and to have compassion, you know, for people. Because I myself, like I said, I'm my own worst enemy. I get in my way every single day with the choices that I make. And I have this incredible ideal, and it's somewhere way out there at the other end of the galaxy. And the laser beams are coming out of my head, and you see a halo around my head. And all I got to do is look at another human being and make them feel safe, and make them feel loved. Through the energy, we help the world by what we are, here and here. This is easier than I thought. About 6 or 7 years ago, I committed myself to unconditional love. And there was a lot of stuff that came up in the beginning. To where when you commit to something like that, you think, oh, everything's going to be just angels and fairies from now on, and we're going to float around with the butterflies and I'll have no more problems. No, it gets worse. The higher you set your intention, the more powerful the devil tries to come to get you. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. I started following your videos in January, and in part with that, in part with who you are, I have to tell you I've lost almost 115 pounds since then.
How much?
115. And I'll have 30 off before I go to Sundance, and I'll have it all off by next summer, and I'm jumping out of airplanes again.
And you're going to take your shirt off?
I don't know if I'll ever do that, because none of it's about that, but I may do that. But I want to say something. I'm a little older than everyone here, and I went through what you're talking about. We went through that in the 60s. We kind of discovered that with Woodstock and all that. But we never had the food component. You were the first prophet I've seen who brought the spirit of the 60s with a food message into reality. And I really want to thank you for that, because certainly for some of us who are older and who have been through, have heard a lot of what you're saying. You may not have understood it, but heard it.
The food helps to understand it, doesn't it?
There is no better day than the day you're juicing. The worst day of juicing is better than the best day of not juicing. I mean, it's clear. And I've also personally found this component of walking, juicing and walking. I don't need to get more complicated than that. And I come to you often. I come to you in the middle of the night for your frailties and for your strength, because you're the most human deliverer of information that I've seen out there. And I really want to thank you for that.
Well, everyone want to thank you for that, bro. Amen.
What's your name?
I want to thank all you guys. This is my friend.
What's your name?
What's
your name?
Mike.
And
Nice
this
to
is
meet you.
probably not everyone's dream, but I know you got one. And you know, my dream is shooting for those stars and earning that halo. For me, this is the strangest thing, because I usually kept this on the down low, but this is ego, but not really. I mean, once you find out about enlightenment, whatever that means to you, I've studied enlightenment intellectually, but I'm committed to it. It doesn't usually happen in one lifetime, but that's forever. I'll be working till I leave this place. And what does that mean? That means the illumination of your whole self, you know, and peace. That's my goal, peace, because I've been at war with myself a lot throughout this life. I know most humans are. It's called duality. And I still, to this very day, you know, oh, I shouldn't have done this, or I ate too much cashew cheesecake or whatever, and now I'm going to take a couple of days to feel better. You know what I mean? Why did you do that, you dummy? Get back on the watermelon, you know? And it's always a constant. You know, you're always trying to quit screwing yourself over. But at the same time, the enlightenment, though, is different. The enlightenment is eating too much cashew cheesecake and realizing that that's okay, you know, and totally being at peace with it instantaneously. So the raw food thing, we do that to strengthen and heal the body.
That's why I like when you say it's food as a tool. It's not about the food, but it's a tool, because even when I started eating raw, the things that started coming up for me, I noticed that I used to, the same thing that I do with the food, I do with other parts of life, with work or anything like that. So I use the food as a tool, but it's not all about the food. So I really like that you said that.
Yeah, I do.
Could you repeat the question?
What was the question?
Does that mean you need batteries?
It needs, it's still going.
Aspects of turn it off and just get batteries?
I got batteries.
Okay, but turn it off and then start again?
Yeah, we'll pan out on these guys.
Okay.
Get the audience. Everyone say hello.
You know, he makes a really good point. Do you have any influence on Robert starting his channel?
Robert? Yeah.
He intertwines that spiritual message along that same as you do.
Well,
the same way.
it was
I think
all-
that's the point that he's making.
I don't think they've heard that in the back.
Okay.
That man said.
That Robert Morris's channel, yeah. That he,
a lot of you guys mirror each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people here know even who he is, but
Does anyone know my mentor, Robert Morse? Straight legit. Yeah, I mean, imagine that though. Like when you love somebody like that, to change. I mean, he's a tissue regeneration expert. So, you know, whatever. 5 years ago, I came up with the Life Regenerator. I never thought I would be doing this, but I just put that as my YouTube channel name, and it was there for like 3 years. I never did anything with it, just watched videos.
How you come up with that name?
Life Regenerator. It just, tissue regeneration is kind of is my title, like a detoxification specialist, tissue regenerator. So it's really the physical body, right? But really, for me, then it began to grow and grow and grow, and now it's become total life regeneration, which is the physical, emotional, mental, and total spiritual regeneration. You know, totally a new, brand new, moment-to-moment awakening. You know, right now, being awake, even in the midst of the pain. Because usually what we have in our society is pleasant is okay, not pleasant is not okay. So we run from that which is not pleasant. Well, what do? We drink, we smoke, and we eat. We do other things too, and whatever, you know. We run away from that. Well, if we really want to become illuminated, have compassion and understanding, and find our true self, we'll be there with the pain too. You know, and that's something that comes and goes for me. I'm kind of in a phase right now of actually focusing on that, like allowing all my BS to come up and all the pain, and then just like working my best to not resist it, because it does make it stronger. You can see instantaneously if you go in, if you just surrender into the pain and stop resisting it, you know, then it really does just disappears. These are the highest levels of consciousness which I am trying to integrate, but for the general population, we're not quite there yet. So the energy gets kind of off on the YouTubes. So I got to kind of simplify it. But in the end of it all, whatever you're dealing with, you're going to find out this thing right here is the most powerful mechanism you've got. The food is an opportunity to look at yourself, the way you respond to life. How do you respond to food? It's about the inward journey. How do you, do you eat in a hurry and under stress? Well, how good is that going to be? What does that mean? You're just eating stress and eating in a hurry. Well, guess what? Tomorrow you're going to be stressed and in a hurry again. But if you learn to chill out, if you find a reason, I need to slow down and eat so I can digest my food and get rid of this IBS or this whatever, chronic fatigue. So you learn how to slow down when you eat, then you learn how to slow down when you talk, then you learn how to slow down at work. But food is the most practical tool that we have to begin to practice more awareness in all the areas of our life, you know? And plus, the thing that's cool about raw foods is that it goes in here, it produces the sensation that you need, that your ego has adapted over billions of years so that you can have that, but it's got a lot of water and it goes through the tube a lot easier. And then it energizes. Okay, so here's the interesting thing about food. Okay, the fiber goes through and that's poop. Okay, the water and the minerals and some of the proteins go in and create cells. But the most beautiful part about the raw food is the subtle qualities of the mind. The way that it affects the subtle vibrations in the mind. The way an apple affects your brain is different than the way steak and eggs with garlic and onions and a shot of Jack Daniels and lobster all mixed together, or you could just go eat an apple. Now, which day are you going to think more clearly? And when you think clearly, how then can you untie the knots that bind you to all your problems, which are all in your mind? We just cling to them. I do it. I probably wouldn't know what to do without all my problems. I'd be sitting there going, man, I'm bored. I want to have some problems now. I'd make something up. Because peace really is in there inside of us. And the less that we eat and the cleaner that we eat, the more the peace can come forth. You know? So it's really the beauty of the simplicity of the foods. Try eating watermelon for a few days and see what happens to your brain. You'll be like, you can see and feel yourself, and then get really jacked up on a bunch of weird food, even if it's like go to a raw restaurant and just eat everything in sight. You'll have like this stimulation, which is necessary sometimes in this world. Don't get me wrong. That's why you'll never see me judge anybody, because this world is crazy. People got kids and mortgages and stuff. They don't have time to drink some celery juice and be crawling along the ground on their tongue that day. They got to do something to get up. They got 3 kids that got to get to school. So they got to have a little something that doesn't go along with the perfect little plan, 80-10-10 or whatever. You know what I mean? They got to do, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Although I love those guys and I love clean eating and I'm always trying to get it. But sometimes I can't just drink the juice and like do what I got to do. You know what I mean? I mean, actually, I've gotten to a point now where it's a little bit easier. But I mean, you know, I went to Pure Food Wine and just kind of loaded up so I can just get like that New York kind of thing, stand up here and do my thing. You know? Because if you're detoxing all the time, it's like I like to go away and detox by myself. Because I get pretty like, I mean, I've got, you know, stuff. I've had a life. Some people say it's been a pretty hard life. I never complain about it. But all that stuff is in there, all that old pain. Till you get enlightened and get it out of there and look at it. The light of awareness. Shine the light of awareness. How do we do that? Raw foods does that. But then water fasting really does that. So what is it? Is it the water fasting? What does that do? When you're sitting there water fasting, guess what? You ain't got nothing. Nowhere to run, sonny. So you got nothing but the light of awareness on all your BS. That's the beauty of water fasting. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of juice fasting. All you got now is juice. So you got problems, you go have a glass of juice. But then your problems come up again. What you can do, have another glass of juice? Maybe. Pretty soon you go, this juice is not solving my problems. It's not solving this tension in my head or my heart. And you're forced to be there with it. That's the healing. Is bringing the awareness to your own inner energy field, and looking at your own energy. Like, we got a world full of people that are not looking at their own energy, what kind of energy they're contributing to their job or to their family. They're totally oblivious.